Happy Friday, my fellow warriors, my friends. I'm looking forward to sharing with you all a little message that I have learned this week, and I hope it will be of use to some of you. And the topic of the message, or the question that I'm trying to answer is, what do we do to balance out the weight of the world when our loved ones leave us? So I've got this little, I don't know if you can see, I actually drew a little picture here. These are all my notes. I'm one of those that scribbles on napkins or whatever I can find, and I can never find what I need in the moment I'm thinking about it. So this is my little picture here. I don't know, it's all wet because it was raining, but if you can see the balance, it's a scale. So if you can think of our life as this scale, and the side that our life is on, or the scale that holds all the things of this life, would be like the worries and all the things that cause us to feel stress or burden, basically. So our life is heavy. And then if we can think about the other scale, for me, is I was thinking of it as being like my children. So they balanced out the weight of the world in my life. They do balance out that weight. And it's taken me a lot of pondering to understand how that is. And I think that there are many people that are listening that maybe don't have children, and I will address that. Let me close this door here because it is kind of loud out. So I believe that in my instance, and I think this applies to everybody, but our children, that deep love that we feel for our children, that we share with our children, they lighten the burden of life, the heaviness of life. And I believe that it's because as we focus on them and that deep love that we have for them, it lessens that focus that we have on the things of this world, the things that make this world heavy. And so in a lot of ways, they literally give us, strength and courage to deal with things that we normally wouldn't have found it within ourselves to be able to handle, because that love is so immense. It gives us something almost of a superpower to be able to overcome. And so what happens in loss, and you can relate this to any kind of loss, whatever your deepest loss is, what happens is that person, usually it's a person, that is able to help balance out the weight of the world on the one side. When that person dies, and all of a sudden the weight of the world comes crashing down so heavy. So as they leave us, the other side comes down really hard. And I spoke I think it might have been the week before last, I talked about how we can turn this heavy boulder that we feel of grief. And I think that is a lot of, the weight of the world, but how we can turn that into a ball of light. That's the love that we have, our loved ones that have gone on. And so if you want to go back and listen to that, you can either scroll through my Facebook page, and it's also available, I'm pretty sure, on my YouTube channel. So as the heaviness comes down on the other side, what do we do? So back to the question, what do we do to balance out the weight? What do we do? It's so heavy. It's so heavy, and it's so heavy that, now we're off balance. We're off balance. And for those of us that have other children, I believe that they play a huge role in helping to, keep those weights, more balanced out again, so that we're able to manage the weight of the world. And referring back to that video that I did a couple weeks ago about turning that heavy burden into a ball of light, I believe that also that we are able to, if we allow it to be so. I think that this is all based on, our mindset and what we choose. And so if we allow it to be so, I believe that even our loved ones that have gone on, that they can actually, be that ball of light, and that they will also help to you can't see what I'm doing here, but my picture looks a little bit more easy to understand. So they can actually come and help lift that burden also, that weight of the world, as our children that are alive continue to be this balance on the other side as well. And getting back to that question, or I guess that fact that many of you do not have children. Some people have lost their only child. And I feel for you. I so feel for you. But what has come to me, because I've been thinking a lot about this, is that, and I see this, I observe this in people that don't have children, and they're still, hi Paulina, you're gonna have to listen from the beginning to understand what I'm talking about, probably. So I observe this a lot and Paulina that just came on is a very good example, because she does not have children. And so in a nutshell, what I'm talking about, Paulina, is how, when we lose our children, they're like the weight on this other side of this balance of life, and how heavy life is. And they help to balance it out so it's not so heavy. But when we lose them, that weight can come crashing down. And so for those of you that don't have children, this is something that this is my own opinion and my own conclusion. And Paulina, you're a perfect example, because you're serving our country. You signed that blank check to give your life, if so needed, to preserve our liberties and our freedoms. So what I'm getting at here is I've seen this in so many people that don't have children. And I believe that as we serve, that's the key word that I was getting to. And Paulina just happened to come on right now. So it was a perfect example. It was a perfect example. As we change the focus of our lives from ourselves. And I think as a mom, sometimes it comes natural, sometimes not, but we're kind of forced to put others before ourselves. But I've seen this with people that don't have children, how by putting all of your energy into helping those around you and doing what you can to serve other people, it's that same thing where it kind of lightens the weight of the world for you, because you're not hyper focused on all these difficult things that you have going on in your life. And as we look around us to other people and in ways that we can help and try to lift the burden of others, I don't know how that works. I just know that it does. I know that it lifts our own burden a lot. And I just wanted to share a scripture from Psalms. It's 46:10. And I'm not one to get really preachy, but at the same time, I have to be honest and true to who I am and where I draw my strength from. And sometimes it's really easy to say all these things, and it's a lot harder to put into practice. And I think it's something that we have to continually work at. Like, we might be okay 1 minute and then think that everything's going along smoothly, and then all of a sudden something happens to those weights and they become off balance again. And the scripture that it always comes back to me, and this was shared, it was on the program at my son's funeral, but it's Psalms 46:10. It's be still and know that I am God. And I believe wholeheartedly that as we quiet ourselves in all of the heaviness that comes upon us, and as we quiet ourselves and look to Him, He will show us ways to help lighten our load. And I really believe that it's key, that service to other people, whether it be within your own family or your neighbors or your friends. I believe that that's key to lightening this heavy burden that we call life. And by focusing on others, this life is not about me. It's not about me. It's about you, Paulina. It's about those around us and trying to lift one another. And so with that, I just want to say, keep forward going. It's hard. Some days are way harder than others. Some years, some months, some moments. But as we commit to keep going, even though it's difficult, I believe that we are strengthened, we get stronger, and we get more capable and more able to not only carry our own burdens, but to lift those around us as well. We all need each other. So, Paulina, thank you for being on here. I love you and I miss you so much. I can't wait to see you again. You take care. You be safe.